Brett Brown, the head coach of the Red Hot Sixers, back here on the show. How are you, Coach?
Rich, I'm doing great.
If I told you that night when you joined us prior to drafting Ben Simmons that this is the situation you would be in right around tax day in April of 2018, what would you have told me?
That I would want to speak to you a lot more frequently than we had been talking.
I bet. What's the process now, Coach?
In regards to...
In general, what is the process of the Sixers right now as you get set for this season, second season?
Just trying to continue to play the style of play. You know, Joel went out, and we sort of sped up. You know, we look at the three-point a lot and trying to understand how that's going to play out in the playoff, format, in the spirit of the playoffs, and then trying to judge when we're going to be able to reintroduce Joel back into to our team. Probably those few things, as we go into the Miami series are most on my mind.
So do you think that Embiid being worked back in can happen during the Miami series?
I think he can. I don't know when. None of us really do know. It's one of those things. He does his cardio work. We put him through sort of scripting with the offense, and then we, wake up the next day and see how he has responded. He does, have his face mask ready to go when somebody says he is able. But as far as an exact date, we don't. We can say that he's not playing game one, and from that point on, it's sort of fluid.
What is the biggest concern involving a face injury, Brett? I mean, how do you handle that?
Probably the obvious, getting re-hit in the face. And, you see those athletes that play with a mask. You're always, wondering how does that affect somebody's, obviously comfort level, but vision line. Like when you're shooting and you're trying to pass to somebody, I think the obvious answer would be, are you going to get hit again in that area?
Did you at all consult with him about the actual mask that he was wearing, Coach? What do you think?
Almost in a humorous way. Like, there are so many designs available to the athlete of what, you want sort of your personal mask to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And he sort of came up with something Darth Vader-ish, sort of charcoal gray, a deep sort of charcoal gray. And he, there's a process. You get it fitted to your face. It's obviously something that ends up being a significant part of trying not to re-injure it. But it did come with a little bit of design thought.
Brett Brown here on the Rich Eisen Show. Markelle Fultz, how much is he going to get in there, do you think, in the playoffs with such a minimal amount of time as a rookie under his belt?
I'm going to try to continue to play him like I have been playing him. I think to overthink it at the start, we've won 16 games in a row. We've played well at home since Christmas especially. And I feel like to overthink it would be a mistake. I had those great experience, 12 years of them with Pop and the Spurs, and, the postseason, deep into postseason championship stuff was a part of my history in San Antonio, and sort of reflect back on some of those preparation periods. One of the main things you get out of there is you got to where you are for a reason. And it does change, Rich, when you start getting into the series. Games 2, 3, 4, the playoffs are so very different than the regular season. But initially I'm going to play Markelle like I have been playing him, which has been about, 12, 14 minutes, 10 minutes as Ben Simmons back up as a point guard.
So what are you going to take from those Popovich years now that you're going into your first foray with this team in the playoffs? What are you looking at and culling from what Popovich has been able to do in San Antonio to tighten rotations, defenses, or what have you, Coach?
Yeah, I feel the thing that most stands out is assessing like who you're going to play and trying to deliver a game plan to your team that is very simple and clean. And, go from a vanilla type base and start either, tweaking it a little bit or, making some subtle adjustments. But I feel like if you can select the proper game plan at the start and you can walk it down, that's the holy grail. That's where we always found our greatest success. And so the days after, our last game was against the Bucks. Yesterday we were in spending so much time, and we'd done a lot of lead-up preparation with the uncertainty of who we could have played. It could have been, I think, 3 or 4 teams, and then we've ended up with the Miami Heat. So a lot of groundwork had been done previously, but the past 2 days to bring our team in and say, listen, these are the matchups. These are the focal points, offense, defense, and keep it clean and deliver it with a sort of tone of voice that is calm and confident, and let them practice it, talk about it. That was our success a lot of times in San Antonio.
Have you openly talked about winning it all with your guys? Winning it all, the whole thing. The whole
no, I
match,
mean, and really think about our evolution. We were. I mean, I was advised at the start of the year, don't go there. When I went to the team from day one and said our goal is to make the playoffs. Like, are we putting this team too far ahead of it? Like, we really don't know what Markel's going to be or Ben or whatever. And I wanted to own it. Like, I really wanted to just put it out there and own it with myself and the players. And, our goal was to make the playoffs. And then life started to move. And then you won 5 games and 8 games, and you go from 7th to 6th, and then you hang there for a while. Then you beat Cleveland in your 3rd, and you've broken an NBA record with 16 wins in a row to conclude the regular season. And so, our life is sped up. But our goal, and I think our future, is what I get most excited about. I don't know what this team is going to do in the playoffs. We've really never been there. It's going to be a journey, no doubt, but I see a big white light when I look down the road at our future. I really feel good, Rich, about, Joel's health, Markel's development. We got draft picks. We have salary cap space. We really have an amazing sort of opportunity to grow something that I think can sustain annual success.
But Coach, why not now, right? I mean, I don't want to put any pressure or put you in a spot here, but why not now? I mean, we just saw it with the Lombardi Trophy, just saw it with Villanova right now. That Philadelphia is being called the city of champions right now.
And Rich, if that's the way it starts to point, you are right. And I go into it sort of with a ready, fire, aim mentality.
Nice.
That, sometimes, not knowing what you don't know isn't a bad thing. And, the youth that we have and playing free, and we've been playing so well and scoring the ball and play with a great pace. You don't know. And it's far from me to water anything down. I hope, will feed off my confidence in them. And, we want to have some fun. I don't want the playoffs to drown anybody's sort of ability to be proactive. I want them playing free, and I want them playing confident.
Do you have any hoodies that you could put a definition on it? You champion, right? I mean, isn't that the way to do it these days, based on what we saw with Donovan Mitchell the other night, putting rookie on his hoodie?
Yeah, no, the 76ers haven't gone there.
No hoodies? No hoodies?
No, there's no hoodies in Philly right now.
With no definition or process. What about that? You could put process on a hoodie to explain what the new process is, which is City of Champions. Something like that.
I flipped it. I'm going with trust the progress, and I think that there you go. And so that's what I'm sticking with, and we're gonna walk that mantra down for a while.
I like that. And Ben Simmons, what do you say to those like Donovan Mitchell, that Ben Simmons is not a rookie because he had a year of sitting? Coach, what's your perspective on that?
Just think about that last word, sitting. He didn't play. And so, you don't play or you do. And that's really my black and white definition of a rookie. And I think you'd have to be reaching hard to truly believe that Ben Simmons shouldn't be Rookie of the Year. I've said it here in Philly. I'll say it to you. I think he is the stone-cold Rookie of the Year. I don't really even think it's close. And I'll tell you what, Donovan Mitchell has been amazing. He really has been amazing. He plays for a good friend of mine in Quinn Snyder. And I just am selfish here in Philly. I look at our record. I look at what Ben has done. And, he passed Irvin Magic Johnson with a triple-double accolade, which in many ways speaks for itself. And very excited that we gave him the ball. He's really, I think, proven a lot of people wrong. Could he or couldn't he do it? And I think the proof right now says that yes, he can.
Well, I mean, the winning streak that you mentioned, the record to finish a regular season in the NBA, 16, 6 more wins than you had the entire season a couple of years ago. So what has been able to been cooked up there by you and sticking to the progress, trusting the progress, hashtag it. It's really something to behold. Good luck to you in the postseason, Coach.
Yeah, Rich, good stuff. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Always. That's Brett Brown, 76ers head coach.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.